Hi everyone, this is Julie Bean with Beadaholique, and I want to show you how easy it is to design really elegant jewelry with prestige crystals. Now, what I'm featuring here are beautiful prestige crystals from their spring summer collection for 2025. And we've got a couple new colors here and a new pearl and a new shape. And there's actually some other components that are part of the launch as well that you can see over at beadaholique.com. I'm also going to show you how to make one pair of earrings right here, and then on the Beadaholique website, all these other earring projects you can find as well. So I really want to show you the new colors first because I think they're absolutely beautiful. So we have a dark rose, and I'm just going to grab these right here so you can see that color. And it might actually be easier if I hold it like this. So you can see that really pretty dark pink color. And it comes in all different shapes. So you're gonna have a lot of your favorite prestige shapes like bicones and rounds. You're also gonna have pendants. So a lot of different beads in this really pretty color. So that's dark rose. Complementing it is cool blue. So you've got the pink and you've got the blue. So here's the cool blue. So it is a nice medium blue. It's not super dark, it's not super light, but it's really like an icy, watery, beautiful, crisp, clean blue. And it's a true blue. There's really not any green in it either. So it's a very nice blue. Then there's also a crystal moonlight pearl, which is the new pearl. And it might be easiest to show in this earring that I made using it. So it looks white, but it definitely has a glow to it, which is what I love. So I would call it almost like it's radiating a little bit of slight gray perhaps, but it definitely is on the white side. It's not like a dark gray by any means, but it's just got a little extra something to it that will differentiate it from white. And this is a crystal moonlight. I think moonlight is a perfect name for this pearl. So those are the new colors of your beads and your pearl. And there's a beautiful new bead called a daydream bead. And if you look at this, it is so pretty and it sparkles. This is in crystal AB, but it comes in other colors as well. But it's just a beautiful narrow profile bead. So it's not too thick. It's definitely not like a full round. And it comes in a 6mm and an 8mm size. And this is the 8mm size. And it's just so pretty. And then by comparison, here's the little 6. So you see it doesn't sound like a lot of difference between a 6 and an 8, but it really is. So you'll see one is much larger than the other. Now what I've also done is I pulled some of my favorite pearls here as well so that you can kind of see what these might match with. So I'm going to go over those right now too, and then we're going to make our project. So I loved pairing this dark rose with this really pretty iridescent dreamy rose pearl. So you see there's a nice subtle pink to that pearl, and it looks so nice with the dreamy rose pearl. It's a mouthful, and the dark rose bead. I also thought the dark rose bead looked really pretty with a mulberry pearl. This is also a prestige pearl, but it's a nice saturated pink tone. So you could definitely go lighter or you could go darker. Now for the cool blue, I have a really pretty iridescent dark blue pearl. So if you just look at these side by side, they complement each other really nicely. So you've got that. And then I also have a iridescent dreamy blue pearl. So I'm loving the iridescent dreamy pearls. And this has that blue tone to it. And you see how pretty that looks there. So I want to show you just a couple ways I've worked these into projects. So we have this really pretty drop earring here with some Nunn Design findings and bead caps using that cool blue that you see right there. And then like I showed you before, these I'm calling a Kiss by Moonlight earrings. And so they're using that moonlight pearl with some wire wrapping. And I should do another video that shows you how to actually make that form. And then we've got this one here, which we've already looked at, which is with that form as well, but is just not wire wrapped. And then I've got these simple little ones with the mulberry pearl. Sometimes you don't need it to be overly fancy. And then this one that we're gonna make right now. So this is so simple. I really like showing how you can just make easy, elegant designs. This is just using 2 head pins and an earring hook and some pretty beads. And I like that it has almost a very modern feel to it where you're leaving that exposed wire. So what you're gonna do to make that is you are just going to take a head pin and we're going to put on it one of these little 2.5mm beads. These are little metal beads so that they add that nice extra pop of gold. And then I'm going to take wherever it went. Let's see. Well, I actually used all of my dream beads that I had, my daydream beads in the dark rose. So I'm going to use a daydream bead in the crystal AB, so you can see how sparkly that is. And I'm going to top it off with another little gold bead right here. And you see how that looks. And we're going to leave this long length of wire. So now we're going to take our, you could do round nose or wire looping, and we're just going to make a simple wire loop up top. And notch it back a little. So then you've got that nice loop up top now, and that's ready to go. And now we're going to do wire wrapped little bead segment with one more of our head pins. Okay, so grab a head pin. Again, we're going to do the little 2.5 millimeter bead. And of course, you could substitute any of these beads for the one I'm using. You could do any pattern. I think it's fun to see how quickly and easily you can make a pretty pair of earrings. So I didn't pull the little rounds because I'd already made those. I got overly enthusiastic. I made my samples, but I'm going to sub in a little dark rose bicone. And then I could have done a pearl too. A pearl would have been really pretty. And I just love these little 2.5 millimeter beads. And on this one, I don't want the exposed length of wire. So I'm going to make a wrapped wire loop right here. So I'm going to grab the wire a little bit beyond where it exits the bead. And I'm going to do some wrappings now. So I'm going to crisscross. And then I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers, hold my little loop, and do a couple little wraps. You don't have to do a lot, just a couple works. And you can see how easy it is to make really elegant jewelry if you have really great starting materials. So these prestige crystal beads and pearls are so pretty that you really don't need an overcomplicated design. So what I'm going to do now is just open up my earring hook. Now, of course, you could go complicated and magnificent and statement earrings, or you could go really simple. So with this design here, we're going to just put our simple little wire loop one with the exposed wire onto our earring hook. We're going to follow it with the wrapped wire loop, little bead dangle that we made, and then we're just going to close it. And these are very fun and dangly. And I feel like this is the type of earring that you end up wearing a lot more than some of the more complicated ones, because it just goes with everything. And it's fun, it's different. You don't usually see that exposed wire, so people might stop and ask you about it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I love all these new colors from Prestige Crystal. We have the dark rose, we have the cool blue, we have the moonlight pearl, and of course this really pretty daydream bead that is just so sparkly. And if you want the instructions for any of these projects, please go over to beadaholique.com. I do have them all written up. And there is another tutorial here that you can find on YouTube and beadaholique.com showing how to make your own little beadable link here, your little bead frame. Very easy to do. Actually, just uses the tools you see here and a tube of seed beads, believe it or not. Well, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Check out our other videos and definitely go check out beadaholique.com where you can find all of these pretty prestige crystal beads and pearls.